So in this video, I'm going to go over the process I went through. What I did is I gave them all the same prompt. They also were all either given the Helix 3.8 user manual. I uploaded it with the prompt, or I gave them the link to it if they wouldn't allow me to upload. I did use the free version for all of these. Every single one of them gave me stuff that was unusable to start with, or maybe not completely unusable, but it would give me blocks, names that didn't exist. It would give me too many blocks that could not be fit. So in every single one of them, I gave it a second prompt after I gave it the first prompt that said, go back and double check every one of these blocks, every one of these settings. There are many of them that are either missing, they're misnamed, or they have the incorrect name or number of settings. And I asked it to update them all, and they all updated them, and all of them still had mistakes. So what did I do? I would use all the settings it gave me that I could connect to actual block settings. I couldn't follow the AI verbatim because it either had errors that were impossible to fix or didn't exist. Now, the reason I only gave it a couple of prompts and made it work to the best of its ability at that point is because in the past I have tried to spend the better part of an afternoon with a single AI engine trying over and over and over again to get it to get all of the correct blocks and all the correct settings. And what I find or have found is that even if you spend multiple hours working with an AI engine, it will still, after many hours, still have made a few mistakes that you just have to figure out on your own. So, I mean, every one of these took a couple hours to do, but if I wanted to try to remove as many mistakes as possible, it would have tripled the time. So that was the compromise I made in the experiment. And then it'll be interesting to listen to what other people think about the results of this little experiment. All right, so here we are in the HX Edit software. I'm going to go through the different AI recommended setup for each of these scenarios. I'm going to do the rhythm and the clean. As I said earlier, the AI was also trying to give me a harmony, lead, and things like that, but they just couldn't do it consistently. So we're just going to stick with just the rhythm and clean tone for each of the AI and see how those sound. So I'm going to click through each one of these blocks so you can see the settings real quick that it recommended. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on every one of them just because it took hours and hours and hours to set all of these up, and that would be boring. So I'm just going to go through real quick so you can see what they look like. Each one of the use settings, and if you want to look at them in a little more detail, you can always pause the video and check it out. All right, so that was the distortion path, which is going to be the top path. On the clean path, on the bottom, and so we have the amp and cab, and delay and reverb. So those are the key things for the DeepSeek one. The rhythm sounds like this. And the clean sounds like this. Okay, so now we're done with the DeepSeek one. Let's check out what Gemini recommended. So we have an input gate, our distortion, an EQ. I'm again not going to use the harmonizer effect that it recommended. Also going to turn this delay off out here. And the amp it chose is the PD Panama. I actually put that in the prompt. And then this one gave a dual cab with a slight delay and then some EQ afterwards. The rhythm for the Gemini sounds like this. So on the clean path, down here at the bottom, compressor, the amp that was recommended here is the Jazz Rivet, dual cab, chorus, reverb, and 2 delays. And this clean sounds like this. Now let's check out what Claude did. Again, no harmonizer here. So here's what the input looks like. Distortion, the amp, the cab, another noise gate, some EQ, various chorus, and a delay. So here it is without the delay. And this one sounded like this. Claude recommended for the clean, so that's this channel down here on the path on the bottom. We have a compressor, some chorus before the amp, a Jazz Rivet, amp and cab combo, and then an EQ, 2 reverbs, some modulation, delay in this path, and a stereo widener in the output. And that sounds like this. All right, and here we are with the ChatGPT version. All right. So this is our distortion path again on the top. So we have our distortion, EQ, our amp, our cab, some EQ again, split the path. Down here we have delay, some EQ, again a stereo widener, another distortion, another delay, and some reverb. Sounds like this. On the clean, this is what it looks like. We have a compressor, distortion, jazz rivet with a cab, chorus, double take, delay, reverb, EQ, and the output. And then our last one is Helixtones. So Helixtones, again, it couldn't make a usable HLX file for me, so I had to ask it what the settings would be in that file, and this is what it gave me. Pretty hard actually to figure out what it was really saying. It said some things that were not so clear. But anyway, this is what we ended up with based on its recommendations. So we have a distortion, amp, dual cab, EQ, another EQ, and a delay for the rhythm. Clean, the channel down here. We had jazz rivet again with a cab, chorus, 2 delays. I turned this off because it became absurd. Reverb, and so let's listen to what this one sounds like. Okay, so those were the settings for all the different AI-generated recommended block settings. And then it'll be interesting to listen to what other people think about the results of this little experiment.